begin our newspaper review, and we're starting with The Nation. Major headline: Tinubu, Nigeria to spend $11.6 billion on debt servicing this year. Hundreds of terrorists killed in troops offensive. NDC fixes presidential primary for May 29. FCEs now offer NCE and B.Ed. Report: Dangote supplied 40.7 metric liters of petrol in April. Makinde will be on ballot in 2027, says aide. Yakubu Gowon, I took hard decisions as head of state. Rivers APC Assembly panel received 16 petitions. What story are we taking?
I have the major headline.
Okay.
So at the Africa Forward Summit at the Kenyatta International Convention Center in Kenya, co-hosted by the President of Kenya and the President of France, hosting about 30 African countries, our President addressed the conference, and I like what he said. He says that 11.6 billion will be spent in 2026 on debt servicing, and it's in dollars. And he says that, you know, this is nearly half of our projected government revenue for the year. And let me just quote him so that Nigeria will see why, because I was totally upset at, you know, France having a conference with Africans. I think it's very colonial and all of that. But I like the president, you know, using it to address the issues that African countries are facing, particularly ourselves. He says every single dollar that leaves our treasury to pay punitive interest rates is a dollar that did not go into our steel sector, our textile mills, our agro-processing plants, or our digital industries. He says we export raw materials and raw minerals, crude oil, agricultural commodities, and we import processed goods at a premium, and that pattern is not an accident. He says that it is the product of a global financial architecture that starves our industries of affordable capital, tolerates massive illicit financial flows, and imposes policy constraints that our competitors themselves never observed when they built their own industrial bases. I love that, you know, this is going straight to the core of the issue. Yes, we will attend these events, but we must have the conversations that will, you know, or start the conversations that are true to spark the right conversations everywhere.
This is a very non-diplomatic, straight to the point.
Straight to the point, you know. So well done, Mr. President. And he was addressing all 30 countries as well as our host. I hope that this changes a lot of things. In attendance was the World Bank and Trade, every of the counterparts of the, you know, monetary lenders and the association of the international food. When you know they came there, so all of them, he talked to everybody, and I hope that things start to change. But we are carrying so much weight. African countries are carrying so much weight for the world, and it's too much to bear. Well done, sir.
Okay, so I have the story on FCE. They said there are 28 federal colleges of education currently run dual mandate academic program leading to issuance of Nigerian Certificate of Education, that's NCE, and Bachelor of Education, that's B.Ed degree, to their graduates. They said 17 or 18 of the education colleges are expected to toe the same path this year. So the minister said students admitted into that's the Minister of Education, Alausa, said students admitted into the institutions begin with NCE program, and upon meeting university admission requirements after 3 years, proceed to complete a degree program within an additional 2 years. So now he is saying that now students will now go, they will enter as an NCE, they will do 3 years. After 3 years, if they meet the requirement to go to universities, which is 5 credits, they will continue and do another 2 years and get 2 certificates, meaning total of 5 years. In 5 years, he's saying that you get NCE and your B.Ed. So according to him, he is saying that the reform has improved the sustainability of colleges of education and increased student enrollment into the institution. And that has really now put colleges of education into sustainability for the future. So now there are a lot of people who are now looking for admission and going instead of just going for NCE there.
Okay, so I have this one. Hundreds of terrorists killed in troops offensive. They said over 300 terror suspects have been killed in renewed onslaughts by the military across the northeast and northwest theaters of operations. Insurgents also denied logistics access with hundreds of their firearms, communication gadgets, fuel, food, and bombs seized. In the northeast, the commander sector Sector 2 Operation Hadinkai, Brigadier General Beyidi Martins, he said that the troops were able to neutralize more than 250 Boko Haram and ISWAP fighters around Yobe and parts of southern Borno. And in all of this, he said about 300 killed, 50 also killed. And this was like a report they made when the general was talking about the coordinated offensives that they carried out on terrorists around Timbuktu Triangle, including Bok, Shileria, Kafar, and other parts of the northeastern. So kudos to our military.
Yeah, so kudos. Well done.
Kudos to them.
Let's move on to the next paper, The Punch. Major headline. Tension mounts as APC panels disqualify over 150 aspirants. Nigeria misses OPEC oil production quota again. Dangote exports 1.66 billion liters fuel amid US-Iran tensions. NDC pegs presidential form at 60 million naira. Primaries hold May 29th. CBN order 4 banks release 321,181 dormant accounts. Gowon unveils memoir, Defense Civil War Choices. And we have Makinde may join 2027 presidential race Thursday. At the bottom strip, federal government orders varsities to suspend drug offenders. Medical reports outrage as EFCC operatives assault Uni Uyo doctor workers. And military disrupts terror operations, intercepts 400 Starlink devices. So we're still reviewing the top stories in the papers.
So I have that.
What do you have in the Punch?
According to the Nigeria Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority, figures showing how petrol product was refined and exported for the month of April 2026, they said that Dangote Refinery exported an estimated 1.66 billion liters of refined petroleum products in April alone. They followed the figures. They said he exported PMS worth 513 million. The diesel, 534 million liters of automotive gas oil. I think that's aviation, or diesel, that's diesel, AGO. And then 615 million liters of aviation fuel within April alone. And this is our only local functioning refinery. What the NMDPR captured is that Dangote has helped us bypass the instability in the Middle East. He said we were saved all the disruptions in the Middle East, you know, and the conflicting figures and all of that that is happening between the US and Iran because of this alone, which is why we must focus within. I like the president capturing what it cost us to, you know, send our our raw minerals outside the country and bring refined products in. It's extremely expensive, and the imbalance economically is not something that we should be exposed to for a long time. So we should explore this more and rely more on this.
Let me take this story. So the federal government has directed universities and other tertiary institutions across the country to temporarily suspend students who repeatedly test positive for drugs as part of new measures aimed at tackling substance abuse in schools. According to the document, they said the objective is to identify students who may require help while promoting safer and healthier learning environments across campus. So the guideline is that the students would go through different stages of testing. So after you go through the first stage, if you test positive, you're made to make the second stage, and that second stage would, if you test positive, you must perform the next batch of testing.
Yes.
And if you are found
It's
wanting,
a nice one.
they will suspend you pending rehabilitation. We took the story for secondary school. Now, you know, this is like a serious.
Yeah,
I like it.
Okay, so I have the CBN story. They said 4 banks have published details of no fewer than 321,181 dormant accounts, following a directive from the central bank. They said the published dormant accounts span individuals, companies, cooperatives, churches, clubs, community associations, and small businesses that have remained inactive for over 10 years. They said some of these banks are Access Bank, Union Bank, we have Stanbic IBTC, and Fidelity Bank. That they are saying that's the CBN is saying that they're going to publish these dormant account details on their website 6 months before such funds become eligible for transfer to the Apex Bank's unclaimed balances trust fund pool accounts. Access Bank listed 243,934 dormant accounts. Stanbic IPTC has 26,135.
Okay.
Fidelity Bank 61,900. Union Bank 212. So the combined figure came to about 321,181 dormant accounts.
Okay, so what I have here is 1,550 fake medicine outlets shut in Kano, Kaduna, Nasarawa.
Please,
I like that good things are coming out from the north now. And data obtained from the Pharmacy Council of Nigeria on Tuesday revealed that the council sealed a total of 1,550 pharmacies, patent medicine shops, and illegal medicine outlets across Nasarawa, Kaduna, and Kano states in a sweeping crackdown aimed to sanitize Nigeria's pharmaceutical sector. So from here, they said this enforcement was done within the period of January to May 12, 2026, with surveillance and enforcement exercises carried out in Mararaba, Karu axis bordering the Federal Capital Territory and Nasarawa states, as well as Kaduna and Kano states.
Well
Kudos.
done. Let's move on to Daily Sun. Major headline: military bombs Zamfara market where suspected terrorists trade. Over 72 killed. Amnesty puts figure at over 100. Wow. NAS moves to strengthen data protection against emerging cyber threats. Nigeria's tax reforms key to economic growth, says Minister. 2 family members killed in fresh attack in Plateau State. Survivors recount experiences, displacement as violence persists. Edo become modern state before end of my first term, says Okwebolo. And we have confusion heightens in Ebonyi Agric College. 3 provosts appointed, removed in 1 week. And NUT expresses concern over federal government's UTME waiver for NCE candidates. That's interesting as well. What story do we have here?
Okay, go on, Ramtu.
Okay, so I have the story on cyber threats. They said the National Assembly has said plans are on to review the National Data Protection Act in view of emerging threats associated with technological advancement. It was said at the Senate at a meeting where the Senate Committee on ICT Cybersecurity, Senator Das Afolabi Salisu, he organized for a joint National Assembly Committee on ICT in Abuja. He said the lawmaker said that the enactment of the act in 2023, there had been new developments such as AI and the United Nations Convention on Cybercrimes. So he is saying that as legislators, we need to have knowledge on data privacy and protection for us to be able to effectively legislate in that area. He said you cannot legislate in an area that you are not sufficiently knowledgeable in. So they are going to organize a workshop where they are going to teach them how to what to do.
What else?
The NUT, that's the Nigerian Union of Teachers, they've expressed concern over the federal government's waiver of the Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination requirement for admission into colleges of education. So the president, Titus Amba, spoke at the 21st Century Teachers Workshop in collaboration with Teachers Registration Council of Nigeria, that's the TRCM. According to what they are saying, you can't go about putting down policies when you did not consult stakeholders from this our institution. What you're saying is that means the teaching profession is a joke to you, because if you're waiving off UTME, you're saying that anybody can just become a teacher. And it really doesn't make sense. Just like the medical profession, you're saying you're going into the medical profession without training. So they are saying they should have asked, the JAMB boss should have asked and consulted.
This and more we'll discuss.
Yeah, we will. So it's actually on the front page of the Daily Sun.
Okay, so I have Governor of Edo State, Governor Kwewolo was inspecting certain projects in Benin City. Why are you smiling? You people, that's why you love us.
Okay, go ahead.
Well, it was inspecting projects in Benin City, including the construction of the Ekenwa University of Benin Road, the Temboga Road extension, or by Rodua Road of Upper Mission Road being handled by a certain construction company. This was, of course, to link the Ikoba Hill flyover, the erosion control project linking Obaseki Street and Agbo Road into the Ikoba River. And that's a major one, as well as the Adesua flyover on Sapele Road. But the drainage link, that's the erosion control link, is major, because this is a problem that the Benin City area suffered for too long. And there were trending videos from the past administration on these areas. So he was happy at the inspection of the road. He went around the Temboga Road, Ute Palace Road, Ramat Park, all these areas, and he was saying if you can see the extent of the work that we have done in Edo State, if we continue at this pace, Edo will become a modern city. Okay. And of course, as usual, of our governor, he was extremely grateful to the president for the renewed agenda that was supported his
modern state. Here we come.
But extend it to across Edo.
Okay. Vanguard is our next paper. Major headline: APC knockout day. 30 governors, 88 senators, 242 reps, 2,620 others would know their fates today. NUT rejects federal government's UTME waiver for NCE admission. We've taken that. Why I finally wrote my story after decades. This is Gawon. Atiku faults Tinubu's security strategy as ex-lawmaker dies in captivity. Over 72 killed as military bombs Zamfara market. Xenophobic attacks. Nigerian lives more important than investment. This is according to Shomole. Then 2027 polls, marking day to declare presidential ambition, unveil PDP-APM alliance. British government has no preferred candidate in Nigeria's election, says their envoy. And then we have petrol consumption jumps 10.8% to 52.4 million, defies higher pump prices. What do we have?
I have the military, 72 killed as military bombs Zamfara market. So this headline has been debunked by the defense headquarters. They say that no civilian was attacked in the market. But the report is that the 72 people were reportedly killed after the military airstrike hit Tumfa market in Zumi local government area of Zamfara state. And the AFP is reporting that actual death toll is hard to establish at this time. But everybody, residents and bandits, go to this popular market where the raid was done or the airstrike was done, and that at least 72 people were reportedly killed. They said that one of the organizations said that the affected village buried 80 people in one fell swoop, and the authorities must investigate these deadly strikes. I think a bit confusing. This market is reportedly a bandit market. They said the death toll is established that at the moment people are at the mercy of the bandits because they use the market. People also mix with them. There's nothing that they can do there. There were screams and blood and bodies all over the ground. And, some of the villages buried at least 80 people. This market reportedly is a bandit hub.
So we're certain that they're all bandits?
That one is a fact. Okay. But, you cannot separate it from being mixed up with civilians.
Regulars.
Yeah, so for that, we can be sorry, but we still can't put that burden of confusion on, because they will have human shields and all of that. There's a deliberateness in, interfacing with us at the market. I don't know how it can be done, but I think we shouldn't be extremely hard on our defense for suspecting a market.
One innocent life is
important. It's important, but we can't leave the bandits, and we really don't know who covers them. Yeah. We've also had reports of our bandits being assisted by civilians, and it's just a difficult place to be.